there is an uptick in Star Wars fan fiction starring Osha and Qimir from the Acolyte. And as I said, their ship name is Qimir.
Which makes no sense.
I actually had no idea that there were Star Wars-based romance novels out there. I learned that today. But they say it has shown anything is possible when talented writers aren't afraid to be horny on main. So that's exactly what they're doing.
Which is why now what we're going to do is you're going to read some fanfic.
Yeah, I made the mistake of Googling Qimir fanfic, just, see if there's anything out there or if they're just making it all up. It's all real and it's all awful.
Yes.
And I'm just going to tell you guys, trigger warning, brace yourselves. It's just get ready because it's really bad.
Do you want to like label like which story is which before you get into it, and just if you're going to read excerpts?
I'm not going to read any story in full. These are just excerpts. Okay.
Label the excerpts before you start them.
Sure. You don't want to be a part of this?
Oh no, go ahead.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. I'll interject as needed.
Yeah. Okay, this one is titled Seduction and Obsession. Here's a quote. He was utterly fascinated by her. He felt the urge to consume her thoughts, to corrupt her being, to call her his own. Qimir was fascinated with Osha the second he set eyes on her when she stepped into the shop. His dark intentions to make her his intertwine with a genuine desire to see her achieve her true potential. Osha, meanwhile, must navigate her conflicted morals and complex feelings for Qimir as she becomes deeply embroiled with him.
This would work live action if we could buy that Amanda Stenberg was able to actually evoke the emotions needed to convey that.
I was saying, it seems kind of sad that this type of fan fiction even exists because we know the type of person is writing it. Is being starved of seeing a real love story on screen because Hollywood hates love stories now.
Yeah, that's a fair argument.
And they hate, generally traditional archetypes for men and women in those love stories.
There's a 20 from That Stanzatastic says, hey, yeah, I'm gonna just pay to get you to stop. Okay, thanks. Sorry, bro.
It's not gonna work.
There's a fair argument to be made there that they don't like to tell traditional love stories anymore. And with no influence of that at all, seemingly, outside
this is gonna fill the gap for that, yeah. I suppose. Yep. This says it's a relative slow burn full of angst, longing, and seduction.
They love the slow burn.
Great. Yes. The enemies to lovers trope, I understand that's like a long-standing trope and it works, but they're obsessed with it. Here's another one. It's called And the Flesh That Sings.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Okay. Okay. Here are some tags. Obsessive behavior. Force-sensitive Qimir. There was only one bed, and I won't say the other ones.
Perfect.
What extraordinary beings we are, he muses, kneeling to set his helmet to the ground. He extends a hand to her body, fingers caressing the force around her as if it's flesh. He leans into it, twisting the power between his fingers and dragging her body until she lays flat on the ground, her eyelids facing the sky.
Wait, so is he force dragging her?
I don't know. What's going on. He tries to keep his voice from wavering and fails. Here's the big quote. Even in the revelation of our triumph, you see the depth of our despair. Qimir puts his cloak on her shivering figure and rests a palm on her waist, exhausted. Ta-da! That was the big finish.
That was the big finish to that one. I love the speeches, the monologues that have nothing to do with anything that's been happening on screen.
Little do they know that was actually a Jordan Peterson quote.
Yeah.
Even in the depth of our despair. Okay, this next one is Life, Death, Love. And this is the singular quote I'm going to read
robots.
from it. I'm not going to go any further than this, but one of the tags is force choking. Do with that information what you will.
Is there a force safe word?
There better be.
Apples.
Here's the quote from Osha. Do I call you master now?
I've been reliably told that you're not allowed to use those words anymore anyways.
The corner of his mouth tilts. If you want to, he says.
Okay. Keep going. Any more?
Okay, let's just move on.
Yeah.
The next one is called The Stranger Within.
Most of this has to just be like unrelenting sexual frustration, right?
I suppose so. And just a complete lack of, again, like a complete lack of the real masculine feminine polarity in any of the TV shows that are being made now.
Men watch porn and women read trashy romance novels.
This is very much the case. Okay, The Stranger Within. How could I possibly trust you? I don't even know your name. I have no name, he replies, the smirk evident in his tone.
On at least the first 4 episodes of this show, he is credited as the stranger.
Yes.
So that's perfectly fine. Now, if he does the stranger in this, I'm leaving.
Here's the worst part. But you can keep calling me Qimir, at least until you're ready to call me master. Osha learns a thing or two under Qimir's tutelage, most of all, the depths of her desire. I can't. I simply cannot.
I'm picturing the very, very paperback romance novel picture that would be used for all of these.
Okay. Here's the next one. It's titled A Smile Reserved Just for Her.
A Smilo-Ren deserved just for her.
Some of the tags. He hates everyone but her. Qimir is an undercover crime boss.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Jealousy. And Osha is famous. Okay, here's the pitch. Osha is a rising star, but in her newfound fame, she has faced a growing number of death threats. While she's on the search for a new bodyguard, a mysterious man helps her out on a train. Maybe he's fit for the role. He surely can't be a secret crime boss, right? Those bruises on his hands are just from his time boxing, right? Whatever, the way he's looking at her makes her feel warm inside, so he can't possibly be that bad.
He was force boxing with someone, so there shouldn't be any marks anyways.
Yeah.
There's a 20 here from That Stanzatastic. Safe word is Jar Jar Binks.
Because Misa effing hates this. I'm sure there is a phallic lightsaber. Wouldn't that just cut like butter?
Okay, so the first thing this made me think of is the scene is the scenes in 10 Things I Hate About You whenever Kat walks in on the school guidance counselor writing her romance novel. Mm-hmm. Undulating with desire.
Yes. Okay, we only have 2 left, guys.
Quivering member.
Stay strong. We have 2 left. This one is titled Embracing Darkness. Some of the tags include angst, denial of feelings, Qimir being murdery. Okay.
Again, remember when I tell you that I say
overprotective Qimir.
I say here's the thing. When I make the joke that when the first nuke will probably be launched by a woman, it's because they use phrases like Qimir being murdery. Look, I didn't drink my water.
I was feeling murdery that day.
I was feeling a little nuclear holocausty.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Okay. Here it reads. Osha awakens in a cave with Qimir after the events of episode 5. You don't need to know what happened in episode 5.
Victor White says meat saber.
He claims she isn't a prisoner. Suddenly, she wants to drag him out into the storm, close enough to see if she could feel his hands on her skin despite the rain. Okay, wait, no, this is like setting the tone, right? Raindrops slide down his jaw and catch them with... Wait, she wants to catch them with her tongue? Oh no. Okay. Because of the desire of the dark side. Wait, okay. The desire of the dark side was a carnal, violent thing, consuming and corrupting. And if all he wanted to do was claim her body, it could have still worked with his plans. But the stirring in his chest he felt when she met his eyes, when she leaned into his touch, when her quiet voice slid into his dreams, It was a soft warmth, a terrifying vulnerability that he knew would make him weak. If she stared into his eyes and begged, he would drop to his knees before her and give up everything. And that's why he could never be her master, and why he needed to get as far away from her as possible.
Okay, there was also, I feel like we're torturing you now, right? So there was also one literally about a YouTube essayist.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I didn't save that one.
The point
but
is like, look, okay.
They do the alternate universe thing.
So here's the thing. The better question is like, does it say something about how starved people are for these types of storylines that you have to take this type of material from a story, from visuals that had no indication of this in the storytelling? There was no connection like this in any way on screen. It's crazy. Like, look, you could make the argument that if it was a show where the characters had like unbelievable chemistry, right? And it just motivated people to write things that the authors, that the directors, that the writers weren't giving you. That speaks to really, really good storytelling, reserved storytelling that knows you want that story, but doesn't give it to you because it keeps you coming back for more. What does it say about a culture where there's none of that visually in what's seen on screen and people still make it up out of nowhere?
They extrapolate it this far where they imagine a whole different universe with these characters in it, because after all, women are not that interested in sci-fi franchises to begin with.
But they're bending it to make it what they want it to be.
Yes, they're bending it to make the story what they want to see. And what they want to see is a classic love story with like the bad boy character and, you know, him being overprotective, for instance. Like, that's something they're not willing to show these days.
Here's the thing.
That would be toxic masculinity.
No, yeah, exactly. So the thing would be is like they could do this very easily, but it would have to be her protecting him because they have to subvert your expectations.
Yeah. Okay. I'll spare you guys this one. This was absolutely the worst one. It takes place after Osha has killed her former Jedi Master Soul. She force chokes him to death. She's having a hard time coping, so she clones Soul with the Force and then sexually dominates him with the Force. So we're just not going to read that. We're going to move on. I am going to need a lot of eye bleach after this. Enough said.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.